What's going on, you guys? Griffin here with Country Slicker, and we are making a video that a lot of you have asked for a very long time. We are officially upgrading tires on our KRX 1000. So we're gonna go with some bigger tires. We're gonna swap some over. We have gotten some really good life out of these Carnivores. We're at 4,200 kilometers now, just over. I think we're 4,300 kilometers now after our last week's adventure. But it's time to upgrade. Our Carnies are beat up, they're tired, they've got lots of little cuts in them. They've been a really good tire. We love the grip, we've actually got a review, which I will link in the description below if you guys want to see our full review of the Maxxis Carnivores over the life of our machine. But we've had a really good time beating on these tires for the last couple of years. In a 31, they've done a really good job cutting through snow, sand, mud. We've done lots and lots of hard packed trails, lots and lots of rocky trails, but we have scrimped away a little bit of money, and it's time now to go to a bit bigger tire and a little bit upgraded tire. So we're really excited. We are going to be using the rims that our machine has right now, which is the Velour V30s or V32s, I believe they are. I did actually reach out to the gentleman Kyle at Specialty Tire, who absolutely love Kyle. He always takes really good care of us, but I did reach out to him about 3-4 months after purchasing these rims and just said, hey, you know what, our bead is really cracked up, and I'll get you guys a shot of that here. But basically, from hitting little rocks and stumps and everything, and the trees glancing off our sidewalls and the rocks glancing off our sidewalls, we had these little cuts in our bead lock on the outside of our rim. He answered us right away. He talked to Velour about it. They were really good. They sent us out this upgraded bead lock set, and I'll show you those right here. So you can see we have 4 new bead locks for these rims, and these are the upgraded style. So these guys are going to mount over onto our new rim, and you can see on these, you can see how that bolt hole is recessed into the side. That's going to be a huge upgrade, because at the end of the day, that's where we were losing and getting that inside bead broken off. You can see if I compare it here. We'll go on the back one here, just there's a little bit better lighting. But basically, you can see where these guys, in comparison, see how that's recessed in there, and on the old ones, they're just kind of getting smacked around quite a bit. You can see we've damaged these. They're all chipped up. They're crushed on this point, crushed on this point, here. That's just normal wear and tear. You can see I took a really good one there where I actually put a really good gouge in my Carnivore, and then also it took some of the rim with it. So these guys should be a lot better. They have the double-walled lip on both sides, but that bolt is protected. So you can see here it's going to be right in this little recess. So we're pretty excited about those upgraded bead lock rings to get those installed. So I'll be bringing these with me to the shop. I'm going to be reusing the rims because I really like these 15-inch bead locks. I think they're a really good rim. They've stayed true. They haven't broken. They've been really good. So we're excited to be using those, but you know what? It is time to ditch the 31s. So stay tuned, you guys. I am going to rip these wheels off. We'll take them to the shop. We'll get some new ones put on from Kyle, and then we'll check back with you guys once we get the new look on. Before I go, I do want to do a quick test with you guys, or I guess get the measuring tape out and just measure the height, because I know that's always kind of the question. Well, if you upgrade your tires, do you get a little bit more? Typically, if you go up, let's say 2 tire sizes, so you go from a 31 to a 33, you are not getting 2 inches of clearance, you're getting 1.5 inches because that diameter change. So just keep that in mind, you guys. But real quick, we'll just do a little test for you here. We're sitting right at 14 inches of clearance in the front there, okay? So I will check back with you guys after we get our new tires put on, and you guys can guess amongst yourself in the next few seconds as to what tire we chose. So we just got back from Specialty Tire. Kyle absolutely hooked us up, got us set up with a really nice tire. So the tires we went with are the 34 by 10 by 15 inch M2 Evils from AMS. I don't know, I think they look pretty awesome. They're pretty big, so here they are. So you guys can see here, so AMS right here, M2 Evil tires. And these guys are an 8-ply tire. They have a 3/4 inch lug. So lug very similar to our old Carnivore. I actually have one here for comparison, so you can see those worn down. And then we have our nice big new lugs here. You're probably, I don't know, maybe a looney's worth of height there. You can see just by looking at a much more rounded profile. So these guys, definitely just looking at them here, they're a lot more rounded for sure. Than the profile that we had on the Carnivore. The Carnivore was definitely a little bit more square. Yeah, a little bit about the AMS M2 Evils. So they're very similar to the M1 Evil, which really took off a few years ago. Lots of guys were running those up to a 32-inch tire. I think at one point they did have a 35-inch version, but I haven't actually seen, or sorry, a 34-inch version. But I haven't seen them recently. I did ask Kyle about them when I went in. I said, hey, I really like the M1 Evils. He took a look and they were only available up to a 32-inch. Because the KRX is suited to run up to a 35, apparently. We did want to go a little bit bigger. We did want to put a little bit more meat on there and get some extra height, as well as, you know, just get a little more height, a little more stability, and yeah, we just wanted to go a little bit bigger and surprise you guys, throw a little bit more height on the KRX. Lots and lots of guys rave online saying that you know, if you're gonna get the upgraded tires for the KRX, you can go up to a 35-inch with no suspension work, no clutch work, and you won't rub. So we are gonna put that to the test eventually, but on today's video, that is not what we're gonna be doing. So I'm just gonna quickly go ahead, change into some coveys, and we will get these installed. You can see the KRX has been sitting on blocks for a couple of days here, poor thing. And we'll see if my we'll see if my jack can actually lift the KRX high enough to get these mounted, because they are freaking big compared to the 31s. Obviously they're not mounted, so the 31s are a little bit smaller right now, but these 34s are much, much higher. I will also, before I install them, I am gonna get you guys a weight on the mounted wheel and tire. I know the stock KRX Carnivores on a 31-inch are roughly 36, 37 pounds stock. These AMS Evils are supposed to be 44. So we are going up a little bit in weight, but not a ton. And the big difference between the AMS Evil M1s and M2s is the M2 that we got has a slightly smaller lug. Instead of a 1-inch lug, it's a 3/4 inch lug. And then they are made of a little bit lighter compound. So you still get the 8-ply rating, but you don't have as much rotational mass, meaning you're not going to lose as much power with your machine. So we'll take a look. We'll see how they measure out. I'm going to get you guys a measurement right off the top to let you know exactly what they measure out to. And then I will get you guys some, we'll get you a couple side-by-sides of the tires once they're installed. See what we got for ground clearance and go from there. All right, so I'm changed up, you guys. Just want to give a quick shout out to Kyle as well. Again, I talked earlier about my beadlock rims, so we ditched those old ones that were all scrapped up in the first part of this video, and you guys can see this new beadlock is installed. You can see the extra heft that's added to the lip here on these velour rims, as well as on the inside. This is really going to provide extra protection for these bolts that hold the beadlock on and keep your rim tight to the tire. You can see here, if we have anything come from this side or this side, we really have that extra heft. There's a lot more extra lip built on there, so really appreciate that. Thank you very much to Kyle as well as the people at Velour for really taking care of me on that. I brought up a concern and they addressed it right away. Really impressed with that. Good job, guys. Really good service, and it looks good. So now we're back to kind of a newish rim, which is sort of nice too, to have that that good look on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get you guys a size measurement on these, so bear with me here. But we'll go ahead. We are going to use a level to make sure that we are measuring from the bottom. God, these things are big. These are meaty. But if we go here, so that is top dead center right now. They're supposed to be a 34-inch. They are coming in at, so a 33.8. So on a 34-inch tire, they came in measured at 33.8 inches. That's pretty good. Most tires usually run a little bit small, so I'm pretty impressed with that. That's awesome. Obviously with that rounded profile, you're gonna be a 1/2 inch or even a full inch lower by the end, by your edge here, but that's pretty good. So just to give you guys a quick side-by-side comparison on the Carnies, like that is a wicked difference. Obviously these aren't mounted, so you're gonna lose a little bit there, but just to take a look, that is a pretty substantial difference, just looking at them side by side. Obviously that lug pattern is a little bit different. This one's a little bit more, I would say, towards an all-terrain look, as opposed to the Carnivore is more suited for a bit more mud, just with that profile and clear-outs pattern. This one has a little bit tighter lug spacing, and with that 3/4 inch lug, it'll be comparable in terms of mud performance, except for that clear-out. So we'll be spinning these a little bit more to get them to clear out, but not by much, hopefully. And again, I'll give you guys just sort of that side-by-side, or sorry, that top to bottom profile. You guys can see here, there is a substantial difference in the height, like substantial. So yeah, let's get these mounted up on the KRX, and then I'll get you a measurement off the bottom and we'll see where we go from. Oh, also, and I will get you the weight really quick too. All right, to do our weight measurement, we have our super advanced handy dandy bathroom scale. So just quickly, all right, so stock Carnivore, comes in at, oh wow, way lighter than I thought. So 31.6 pounds. 32 pounds is the stock one, and I guess our new ones are supposed to be 43 as per the website. So we'll see. Mount it up, let's see what they come out to. All right, you guys can see that there. Mounted up, we are 59.4 pounds. We're just under 60 pounds per corner now, which is, I would say heavier for sure than what we had before. Anyways, 59.4 pounds per corner. So we'll see what that equates to once we do an actual trail review. As it sits right now though, I do think we're gonna lose a little bit of power. We're gonna notice it for sure. I don't know if we'll need a clutch kit or not, but obviously there will be a change. So yeah, so we'll get these mounted up and then we'll take a little look and see where we're at once we're mounted. Oh boy, so I literally just got my back tires on. You can see how much ground clearance we have here to fit those tires on. And I've got my jack maxed out with 3 blocks of wood. So she tall, she real tall. We're gonna go ahead and get the fronts mounted and then we'll get you guys a final shot. But that, literally that's the max my jack has. That is close. All right, you guys, that is installed. Much bigger. I can tell you just by stepping into it how much bigger it is. Those look pretty sweet. That machine is much bigger. You can see we do have lots and lots of ground clearance here still. This is where I was worried about, is just in the front, but there's a good 2 to 3 inches of space still in there. And even at full lock, you guys can see even at full lock, we still have plenty of clearance in there. I'd say we still have, oh, I don't know, a good 2 inches or so. So there's lots and lots of clearance in there still, which is really, really good. So we should be able to articulate just fine and we should be able to still get around no problem. Lots of clearance there, lots and lots of clearance here. And then obviously in the back, we have clearance for days. We could have gone to a 40 on the back here, no problem. But yeah, so pretty happy with that, you guys. I think it looks awesome. Yeah, no, that looks awesome. Those look great. It's nice knowing that those bead lock nuts aren't exposed anymore, so we're not gonna smash those off on the trail. But yeah, I really like the look of that. It looks sweet, looks beefy. I actually don't mind that rounded profile either. That looks pretty cool. I'm hoping once we're on the trail that we get a good test in and that these perform just as well, if not better than the Carnivores did. But I really, really like the look of those. I think it looks good, looks super, super mean. Like it. Definitely the way the KRX should look from the factory, I'd say. Looks great. So I did pull this thing out and drive up and down the laneway a few times. Not a lot, just enough to get the suspension to settle. I want to get you guys a measurement, but I didn't want it to be a cheater measurement since I just had it on the jack. That'll always gain you a couple of inches just because you're up in the air and the suspension is drooped out. So now that we are settled, let's get you guys a measurement here real quick. Heck yeah. 16 inches, exactly. So we got 16 inches of clearance there. So we got some really good gains clearance-wise from those tires as well. So that should help. That should help a lot with us hitting stuff. That'll really help us in the wintertime when we're plowing snow. I've always been the guy at the back of the pack whenever it comes to winter riding in deep snow, just because I didn't have the ground clearance and I have a heavy machine. So by bogging down much more, it really, really impacts me when I'm in the wintertime, especially riding with guys on Can-Am turbos and Razors. They can fly through stuff, whereas me, a little bit heavier and lower tires, it's really, really been a big hindrance for us. So I'm really excited to get out and rip it and have some fun with everybody out on the trails now in the snow. Super excited. Should be really good. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. That's how we're able to bring all these new videos to you guys. And I hope you guys found some value. I know for me, there was lots of little questions I had, like the Evil M2 tires. What do they weigh? Once they're mounted, what do they weigh? What do you actually get for a ground clearance? So we've seen here, we got almost 2 inches more ground clearance here, which is awesome. That's a big change for us. And obviously we do really like the new look. So really excited. We will bring you guys a review on the tires once we have had some time to run them, try them on some rock, try them on some mud, try them in the snow, hopefully. So let me put a couple 100K on these and then I will give you guys a full review. If you guys do have any questions about these tires, AMS M2 Evil tires, drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to know. I'll do my best to answer them and we can kind of go from there. But as it sits right now, really happy with the look. Initial impressions are really good. The price was right. Again, I want to give a shout out to Kyle at Specialty Tire in Calgary, Alberta. He really took care of us, really did a good job on getting us the best price and also the right tire for the machine. He knows his stuff, guys, so go check him out. And again, we will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Until then, Country Slicker out of here.